Twitch is gonna love the music change on this one. Hopefully. Welcome everyone so far that's in the Twitch chat. We are just waiting for the final people here to get into lobby before we get going, so hopefully it won't be too much longer. Rock out.
Play some elevator music for him. Get him all hypey.
Oh, well, we got cursing.
Huh?
In this song.
Well, better turn on your filter. Roster than I have, I guess, is wrong.
Their top laner is in a match right now that is over 45 minutes long.
Whew. And he's going to come and play 2 really intensive games. That's going to be fun.
It's Vantage Edge, man. He can take it.
Tell you what, I can only feel after watching some hour-long LCS games how it must be to get out there and go play another one.
Hey, they get a 5-minute banana break.
Yeah,
they're always eating bananas. I just for once want to see them with orange slices. Be like soccer, little kid soccer.
Oh boy. Alright, who brought the orange peels?
Yeah, who brought the orange peels? Playing this one because Vantage Edge Man is a little busy playing Tryndamere. Blame the Tryndamere player for being late.
Let's see, so I watched a video today with Sneaky and Shroud duoing. They were playing with some other people. They're actually playing with like C9 Winter too and someone else that I didn't recognize, but Shroud's just sitting there, like, I guess on his level 2 account or whatever, playing with challenger players.
Jeez.
And he's sitting there going through the free champion list, and he starts naming off things, and he gets to Tryndamere, and he's like, is this Tridamere? What the hell is this? And then Sneaky, you just zoom in on Sneaky's camera, and he just, all expression loses his face. He starts getting a smirk, and then he's like, yeah, that's Tryndamere.
You know, it's named after one of the creators.
And I just felt like Sneaky just wanted to just start laughing so hard.
Jeez.
So you can't do that to a fellow Cloud9 member. You just can't. Gotta help out the other brothers from another game that don't know about League.
It's fine. As long as they're being bros.
Yeah. Sneaky's like, so what do you play? And he's like, I play CSGO. And they're like, yeah. No, what do you play in League? Oh, I play I play defense.
Play defense.
Sneaky's just like, oh god, what did I get myself into?
That means if someone asks me what I played in CS:GO, I'll be like, "What guy runs and throws the grenades and then gets shot?" That guy.
Me.
That's guy. I'm subtlety, precision on accuracy. That's not happening coming from me. Just I'm great at throwing grenades though. I'll throw those, you know, throw the 3 grenades, throw the flashbang, run through the door, be the cannon fodder, let them waste all their bullets. It's not how that works though.
I'm the one that throws the grenade too high and ends up falling back on the team. That's me. If it's not that, I'm sitting there trying to fumble through the keys to buy stuff, and then my team's yelling at me, and then they just kill me for shits and giggles, and they're like, whatever.
Oh, perfect ending. So, welcome everyone. We're going to get started now. The team has gotten into pick ban, and we're going to swap on over to those things. I'm the host again tonight, the AMO, and we got with me the co-host of the evening and colorcaster here. One of the most impactful players from yesterday's stream, Ziggy.
Hey, he wasn't ready. Shout out to my boy Goon.
He probably wasn't ready. So, Ziggy, thanks for joining us this evening. We got 2 teams in the Helio Division coming at us. We have the Pentatilters and Jeez, all I got message was the stuff.
It's okay. It's only the first week. It's supposed to get better.
Well, that's the kicker. Is They literally just messaged me tonight what their team names were. Dino Gnosis, Aclocytes, or something along those lines. Something like that. Dino Gnosises. Dino Gnosis.
Oh, the dinos.
Dinos, probably. So, do you know much about these players?
I haven't really spent any time in Helio. I know a couple of players that I play with on a regular basis, as well as one of them is a teammate of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I do think the Pentatilters were actually a team last season.
Yeah, they got 3 of the same people here. So we're gonna see what happens. The one person is most notable on these teams is someone who works for Vantage. It's a Vantage Edge man. Or Philip in the Slack, as you may see him. He is a Tryndamere player and a Teemo player. He loves the split push, and he will split push all day. Oh, DNA. Thanks, Idocles. They're going to go, the abbreviations are DNA.
Alright.
So whatever full name they had there. So notice the Tryndamere and Teemo bans are specifically at, Vantage Edgeman's pool, and he goes for the Gnosis here, probably because it's with the Jax banned out. I think they may have locked himself into getting that particular pick coming in. So we'll see how the rest of the pick ban phase goes here. What are you looking for kind of from these teams? Because you don't know much about them, but at the same time, this is it's a different division, so.
Yeah, we should expect a nice little bloody game, though. Definitely LPL style. A lot of it's probably going to come through that top lane, too, because that Gnar-Nasus interaction is quite an interesting one, where Gnar is just going to beat the heck out of him until like 30 minutes when Nasus finally hopefully farms up and almost some 2-shot him.
We'll see how much stacks Gnosis can get, because that's going to be part of the kicker. There is he may have to go for that Emax build to get his lanes kept at a good stable distance away from his towers. They kind of go through the rest of the pick bans here. Down here in the Helio Division, or up here in the Helio Division, depending on how you want to look at it, a lot of people are going to pick straight for comfort, and not as much team comp. I know last night both the teams that won had a really strong 5v5 post 35 minute team fight comps that won. So I don't think we're going to be seeing those type of strategies. I think it may be precedent for these teams to pick maybe slightly early game champions to definitely start snowballing one lane that can just carry them to victory.
Well, as it's starting to shape up so far in the first 6 picks, it's looking like the opposite from that. I mean, you've got Susan up there. That's basically, I'll see you guys at 30, 35 minutes, and then we can start team fighting. You've got Lulu, Cassidy, Nar. They all take time to scale. Echo, he's just going to be a pain trying to 1v1 the Cassidy because that's the only matchup that they're going to have to do together. As far as DNO, right? They actually have a decent comp so far coming in. You know, you have the Cassidy just going to dive in, get the Lulu ult, and Nar just want to go ham, Mega Nar, and throw him into a wall.
Yes, we see some final bans coming out. I will say there's the Misfortune ban. Helio Division last season, due to a couple 80 carries maining Misfortune, I think every 80 carry from this division picked up Misfortune so they could take it away from each other while they were doing more targeted bans in the draft phase. So it's interesting to see that because of that, all the 80 carries have gotten pretty respectable on it, and now because of the new drafting here with the second round of bans, it's something that's going to be banned out and may be banned out for a while here in this division.
Yeah, and they definitely wanted to hamper the AD picks, that's for sure. You got 3-4 AD picks banned up there, and really thinning out that pool.
And I'm not sure exactly who that favors necessarily. Now Bonesaw is looks like gonna take the Xayah into the Ashe, so it's really just if Ashe can hit her arrow, or if Xayah can kite out just long enough to pull those feathers back and just rip them through the hearts of DNA, make it a little bloody.
Well, Pentatilters definitely have a nice 4-1 comp going there. They can even try and stretch it out to be a 3-1 with the Xayah Rocket interaction. Definitely have a very strong 3-man team right there, just between Amumu, Xayah, and Rockin'.
Let's see what I'm gonna guess that's a placeholder.
I'm gonna hope so on that too.
Okay, hold on. Let me check the room real quick, just to make sure that no one mentioned any proxy picks before we get any further. I don't think Nar's not a particularly. We are. They have not left.
No, I think that might actually.
Can Nar really jungle? Oh, okay. There we are.
There we go.
Got out of there, and we'll wait till the stuff pops through here as they reload back into lobby to figure out what that final pick was here. So as we get into the the Helio Division, the first the game that we're aware of in the coming up here in the league. What do you expect from like week 1? You played your first match last night in week 1. What do you expect to see from these teams in week 1?
Well, you're going to see a lot of people just trying to run around. This game in particular is actually going to look like our game last night, where you have a team that's decently established versus a team that just got thrown together. So hopefully they did some scrimming, hopefully they did some practicing, they can play a little bit better than us and feel like they can work as a team.
Yeah, so depending on what that final pick was, I think that would be for the jungler, right? Because you had the Gnar up top, Cassidy in mid, Ashe, Lulu, bot lane. Just kind of trying to round out their team comp. What pick would you like to see coming out from the jungle?
Well, it looks like they're going to actually pick the Lee Sin for the GP, which gives them a decent engage. It's really going to be consistent on that Ashe arrow. If they can hit that Ashe arrow, they're definitely going to want a team comp or team fight a lot more than Pentatilters will. Of course, you know, with the Nasus on their team, they're just going to be splitting with the Nasus all game.
We do have two champions that like to scale up a little bit. Cassidy does like to hit that 2 to 3 item point before, you know, getting on a full bore rampage going on. So, do you think the early pressure that the Lee Sin can bring out versus the Amumu is going to make that much of a difference, or
if they focus it in the mid lane, it should help a lot for the Kassadin, since the Echo will start pushing in the Kassadin eventually, and that Echo probably will come online a little bit quicker, since he typically goes Proto Belt versus Kassadin's will either go Roa or GLP, and it just takes a little bit longer till that second item to start scaling. But we should be seeing, hopefully, a bunch of roams coming out of the mid lane, because those are two very mobile champions. Once they hit 6, they should be looking to go somewhere.
Well, they're even... Well, I guess... I'm confused. They must be not in order here, as Kami's picked up Lulu. Are we going to have the same issue here? Do they not think about the... Okay, well... I just realized that they didn't swap around, so... maybe they're just keeping the picks in the same order for traction to see who's going to pick what, and they'll have McLovin pick up the Lee Sin for Kami. So, on that side... which, I mean, up top, and, you know, Gnar's going to be able to push in early as well if we just want to go top to bottom. But you kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier. Do you think it's going to be about 30 minutes before Nasus is going to break hold? So, you know, the Gnar's on kind of a little bit of a timer on the split push, but at that point, maybe Kassadin can take over if they want to, you know, do the 4-1.
Yeah, I mean, Gnar can still split, Kassadin can split. Gnar should, assuming he's going to get a kill or two, if Lee can pressure that, then, you know, getting the Gnar ahead is going to help him be able to split against the Nasus. I think definitely the teleport ganks are going to be really more in favor in Gnar over the Nasus. And then you also have to look at the fact that Echo and Kassadin are both going to want a side lane as well. And it's a proven fact that Echo flanks are pretty damn deadly. They are a lot more scarier than Kassadin is.
Well, can be more scary. It all depends on how fed Kassadin is. I've ran into a Kassadin recently that was able to just pulverize an entire team when he showed up. So, we try to touch base a little bit on how the Lee Sin maybe can start snowballing a game early, but if that doesn't happen, I think Amumu is going to have the much better CC going into the mid game.
Yeah, and they have a really good 4-man comp. You know, between the Amumu ult, the Echo stun, you know, you have the Rockin' mass taunt, followed up by a Xayah ult into her root. That's just a lot of wombo right there. A ton of it. At that point, you just don't even need the Nasus, because those 4 ults right there should just easily take out a team. Especially as squishy as DNO's is.
When you talk about on the squishiness, do you think Gnar does get to go into Mega form? Kassadin will most likely get a GA, or not GA, Zanya's. Ashe is going to have probably a Guardians and Angels eventually. You do have Lulu ult, so there's some pseudo tankingness that if they can just get the damage put on the right people in team fights, they may be able to survive long enough to finally take down someone on the other side.
Yeah, it's very possible. Just have to scale up to get to that point. They're a little bit more later game than Pentatilters is, and we'll just have to go from there. Ash takes a little bit to get online. Lulu takes a little bit. Kassadin takes a little bit. The only one really on their team is Lee that could really make a huge play early.
Talking about making huge plays early, we got the bird people down in the bot lane, Xayah and Rakan. Now, we've seen what the pros can do with the Xayah Rakan combo, and a lot of times it's a struggle unless it either succeeds or it fails miserably. Is that just
that's just how it is? I mean, it's not 100% an easy combo to do. Otherwise, if it was, the pros wouldn't fail so hard at it. It's just all about knowing the skill matchups, who can get online first. Ash takes a little bit longer than Xayah because of the way Xayah builds, and we'll just have to see. Rockin needs to hit those nice little knockups and hit that, and then Xayah follows up with a Q and then a root, and that's pretty much it.
Are you a little bit worried taking a melee champion that's kind of squishy? I mean, Rakan's not not an Alistar or a Braum into a Lulu. I mean, that's a lot of poke from the Ashe and the Lulu that can happen down in bot lane.
It is. I mean, always taking a melee into a ranged support matchup is going to be a little bit frustrating at the start, but once you get a couple items under you, then it just starts evening out.
So we're going to be jumping in here in the next 20 seconds. Anything else you want to touch on team comps before we jump right in?
No, not really. I'd just like to see the Lee maybe camp top a little bit, get the Gnar going, and then after that probably help out mid lane because Kassadin's going to need it early.
Yep, so we're going to get in on here for the first game of the Helios Division, game of the week, I guess, or night. I don't know how many games we're going to be doing this week, but we're going to have the Pentatiltlers. They're going to be on the blue side, taking on the Dino Gnostises. I can't remember what the last word was, but we're going to call them DNA for today's cast here. And up top, we're going to have Vantage Edgeman on the Gnosis. Canthor is going to be playing Amumu in the jungle. Bow Ties, Tility, we're just calling Bow Ties, on the mid lane Echo. Bonesaw down on AD carry. Xayah and Thad the Destroyer on Rakan support. For DNA, Idocles up top on Gnar. Cammy Zoro on Lee Sin jungle. Arsenic on mid lane Kassadin, and we got McLovin X1 on Ashe, and Derp Naster on the support Lulu. There we are, and we should be jumping in here. We do always usually have a bit of a spectator delay coming into the match. Just sort of the way it goes to start off. So, is any team going to do an invade here?
It looks like that DNA might actually try and do something here. They are gathering up 4-man, ready to go in, check the red side. Everything looks pretty standard as far as first purchase buys. I think the Nasus made a great choice in going cloth 4 just to try and sustain from the Gnar.
Is a pretty good choice because Gnar can, once Gnar gets about 3 levels on you, and he gets on to you, that's going to be extremely painful. Now, Amumu is one of those champions that can do the Wraith start because of how much AoE clear he has at level 1, even though it does hurt his mana pool if he doesn't manage it really well. So it does look like he's going to be going to the classical blue start on the side of Amumu. Swap. There he goes. Little bot Amumu.
There is a ping that just went out towards red. Now they're just pinging back to defensive positions.
Doesn't look like anyone spotted each other out. So the first people that are going to fight are going to be the mid laners here as the minions start to collide. And it looks like Nar's going to go for an early push in. Idocles getting a head start on getting his lane really pushed up here, while Nasus is helping the Mumu at the blue buff. While that's in return, Xayah down here in bot lane. They didn't push in at all, so not going to get that early level 2 advantage down here for them.
No, I do think that's a really good idea for Gnar to start pushing in, trying to get that early shove into Nasus. Nasus has a little bit of a problem farming under tower, especially if he can't get the right combo going. Lee is actually a camp ahead of Amumu right now, so that's going to be a factor too. Probably an early gank, possibly mid.
And it looks like the mid laners are just trading lots of poke damage and harass very early on in here. And Lee Sin's going to go for an early gank as we see him in this bush. He's just going to walk straight up, throw a Q out, hit a minion, probably going to go back up to red buff as we see Nasus getting kind of chipped down, but he's been, hasn't even used the potion yet. He is down about 5 to 6 CS, but that's okay at the moment. As he just play sustain, don't die. That's his goal right now.
Yeah, as long as Nasus can just stay in lane, gain some XP in this matchup, and attempt to get some stacks, he should be fine later on in the game.
Well, the first 3 minutes didn't bring out anything exciting other than a possible Lee Sin gank. Although Thad the Destroyer is going in here, and he is going to proc the heal from the Q, but that poke damage from the Ashe W and the Lulu, just too much for that tiny, minuscule heal.
On Echo as well in the mid lane.
You do. He's going to get
the ward hop right onto the Q.
Oh, but the stun and the ignite.
Convergence.
Flash auto from Kassadin, not going to be enough, but Lee Sin now trying to hop and get away from the Amumu. Is going to be successful there. So you touched base on the pick band, the taking the melee, not as tanky as other melee supports of Rakan into this lane, and he went aggressive really early at level 3 or level 2, and he died for it.
Yeah, you kind of just have to play that a little bit more passively. I get that you just want to jump around and try getting knockups and whatever you can do, but it is really hard in the era of the range support that we have nowadays. You just have to be a little more passive with a melee support.
As a result, Xayah has taken a lot of poke damage as well. In return, it looks like Kassadin, both the mid laners have burnt all of their sums, but Echo had teleport and was able to come back to lane because he did not die to the ignite, so he has the advantage. He did go for the double Doran's ring. He's not going to get that stacking regen that used to be on there when you kill a creep, because that has been removed after last patch. While Kassadin has gone for the tier and is already going to try and get that start of the stack up.
We did have Nasus just trying to step up and get a stack and ended up having to blow his flash for it. Gnar is doing a great job of keeping this lane shoved in all the way. I would like to see a Mumu come up here for this. This seems like a pretty easy way into the lane.
It probably should be, but Lee Sin is probably looking to do some counter ganking of his own up here as he's looking to make sure that Gnar, since he is being pushed up, is guarded safely. While we see just the Ashe and the Lulu down here taking a slight CS lead, haven't needed the back, haven't really used any potions yet, just, with some nice harass and poke, making sure that the enemy laners are, falling behind.
Could we possibly see a showdown in the jungle, or is Lee going to dive here?
I think Lee's going to hop out. Yep, there he goes.
They did spot him on the ward.
So Amumu already has a early pink ward on his blue buff, definitely really prioritizing getting that, and he's now going to be going for the Scuttle Crab right before it spawns. He's done nothing but farm his jungle, but Lee Sin's mobility has kept Lee Sin's CS up higher at the moment.
Yeah, he was able to get into Amumu's jungle and take his Gromp away from him, which is really good. It looks like he's sitting here setting up, maybe try something in the mid lane, but Lee is very close by.
And this is part of the problem with the first power clear. Oh no, Nar's going to go in for the ult. Nasus has to burn ult as well with the Withers. It looks like he's going to be able to escape, as there was no stun on the Nasus. He's going to probably have to teleport in back here, as there goes Amumu, and that's possibly, nope, Echo ult not in the right spot, as Cassidy was able to jump away from that.
That was very close, definitely very close there. He had that chrono break if he just pressed it a little bit sooner. And maybe if Amumu had said he was going back in. Echo did have his jump up, so he could have gotten there.
As we look at the Amumu getting his blue buff now, maybe. Ooh, very close. He was able to secure that, though. But Lee Sin did go in for a jungle invade, and I believe he has red buff.
No,
nope,
just went to go get a pink ward down.
Just got
to get some vision.
Yep, just got the pink ward down. So good early invade on that half of the jungle, and so far the only mistake really was Thad on the Rakan being a little bit too aggressive. Other than that, just the lanes that are winning, and the lanes that are going to be pushed in are getting kind of pushed in.
Looks like mid lane has a pretty decent CS. They're, sitting at the same about here. Echo did go back and purchase, so Cass got a little bit to catch up. However, Cass did get handed over the second blue buff, which is really good for Cassidy this early in the game.
Idacly is looking to go super aggressive. He has not backed yet. He is level 9. He does have basically 70 CS almost at the 9-minute mark here. And that's pretty impressive. The 10 minutes CS per minute is it's something that everyone strives for, but sometimes realistically it's just not going to happen. But he's definitely going for it so far in this game.
He is, and he's putting up quite a stack of gold that he's sitting on. I'd say definitely Amumu needs to go up there and try and stop him from going back to buy and come back into this lane, because he's going to come back with something pretty big, if not a full completed frozen mallet.
Well, he may even go for the black cleaver first because of how much armor Nasus is already stacked up. Just depends on what Idacles' preferences are in that aspect. As Amumu does found the red ward, pink ward from the Lee Sin, and is cleared that out and is now taking his red buff, as we see the hawk shot fly overhead, and everyone knows that Amumu is at red buff.
They did get some good vision, seeing that he's half health. That means he's pretty much not going to be able to try and attempt something somewhere. He was sitting back because he's afraid that someone was trying to come through his jungle like Lee. We do see Lee is taking his time to go over to Amumu's top side so that he can start clearing some of that out. He is going to get spotted out by the pink ward, which he places one on top. And I guess he's going to do Gromp instead of clear the ward.
Well, he knows Nasus is going to come over and help, and they did know that Amumu was on the bottom half of the map.
Echo and Amumu are coming. Nasus can easily come down.
Lee Sin can just ward hop over.
They know he knows Amumu's there.
Yep.
Okay.
So other than some just counter jungling by the Lee Sin and the Gnar getting absolutely farmed up right now, bot lane's been, going slightly in favor of the poke lane, as it does look like Ashe did go for the Bork first item back, while Xayah went for the the BF sword. So, more damage coming out on the side of Xayah. She's not gonna have that sustain in lane unless Rakan gets off some pretty good heals, and if I'm not mistaken, that heal is terrible.
Yeah, it looks like Xayah's probably going to go the Essence Reaver build, so that'll be her first completed item here shortly.
That being said, Amumu possibly being seen here in the jungle by Lee Sin, as he did hit the Vision Plant maybe looking to get gank in onto Kassadin here. But Kassadin knows what's up. Moo, you're on a ward, bud. So Yordle looks like maybe going to go collect wolves, go back to base, bye. Who knows?
So, Idocles on the Gnar is backing right now. He did go ahead and purchase that Frozen Mallet as the first item. Fully completed, teleporting in. He's going to look to do some damage right here.
Mm-hmm. Someone's going to have to help this Nasus, or this is going to be first brick to...
Kassadin having to force the Chrono Break on Echo. He almost took him out.
But the Chrono Break does heal him up, and that heal is going to sustain through the Ignite, so good, necessary there, but...
And it just looks like Amumu is just going to go down and start farming Krugs here. I don't know what they're calling about, but I think they definitely need to have Amumu and Echo head up to that top lane. That Gnar is getting really scary.
I think I don't know if it's a call necessarily to just give up on the tower, because this is going to go down here. Advantage Edgeman needs to leave right now. Leave, buddy. Leave. Idocles doesn't care about you. He's just... How low is that tower?
That tower is sitting on
46 HP.
One hit.
Good job, Nasus. You saved it for one more minion wave. As we see, Rakan and Lulu fighting over Vision in Tribush here. Lee Sin has actually hopped over the wall and had started Dragon solo, as Gnar does just go and finish off. As we see Flash by Nasus to try and get in and pop. Does he have enough mana for ult? He really needs it as Echo show up, but that's too late. Oh! Wow, I misjudged that one. You were right, Ziggy. I thought the Echo was not going to be in time to save Nasus, but he was. But the Dragon still soloed out by Lee Sin, and now a Fire Drake on the side of DNA.
And that's going to help DNA a lot, because they have a lot of people that are going to be using that to very good effectiveness.
Mm-hmm. And that's a Thad jumping in, getting a nice... knock up on the Lee Sin, who's looking to come in to get a gank. So, oh jeez,
caught here by the Amumu, gets ulted out. Zaya comes in to clean up the kill. It's gonna go over to Bonesaw for their second kill of the game.
And Canthor, Lee Sin kicked Canthor into the Dragon Pit. I was like, how did Mumu end up clearing out the Pink Ward and River so fast? Good rotation over, as Lee Sin probably was getting a little greedy after taking that dragon, and probably should have just accepted his win down there and moved off. As a result, Amumu's going to go in and steal the blue buff. So a nice steal by the little Yordle there. And a ward clear. So everyone clap your hands for ward clears, because that's what Twitch chat does. As we see, this is the point where Kassadin is really going to get started pushing as well, or just return all of the damage back in onto Bonetie. Apparently, you got to hit your Qs on Echo to deal damage to the Echo, or to the Kassadin. Oh, wow. Otherwise, Kassadin can just mow you down in lane. Think Kassadin going for that Rod of Ages. Doesn't even really have that much AP. Just has the Blasting Wand. Was able to get through Echo's spamming abilities and eat through his ult even after the heal. So
yeah, if you can't hit the Time Winders, then you're not going to be doing very much as Echo. He's going to rely on that a lot. We do see the Morello cons coming out as the first item for Echo, which I'm not entirely sure that should have been the first item for him. Typically, you want to go Proto Belt. We do see Gnar sitting here going off on top of him now.
Idocles just threw that Amumu bot right into the wall and absolutely just broke that that champion in half with the help of Grompwall there, and because of that. Now that's probably a stolen blue, and Echo's going to try and be here to fight it, but I don't want to fight Gnar with double buff. And now he gets one auto. There's the second. There's the third. He's gone hyper, and you can jump around, casting over the wall, just like you said. Kami Zoro is going to take that kill on the Lee Sin, and this Nars is paying dividends with all of that early farm.
Indeed he is. They needed to really start those rooms to go up top a little bit earlier than what they did and try and shut that Gnar down.
Lee Sin has had a lot of time to get in, lots of vision in onto this Amumu, so the ganks haven't been that successful. The only time Amumu was really able to do anything was when Lee Sin got caught basically too deep in the jungle to get finished, for him to get finished off with the help of the bot lane. But Lee Sin here with Cassin out, taking out the mid lane tier 1, while Gnar is trying to focus in on this tier 2, and it makes a Mumu flash because that red buff and slow damage is way too much. Van and Edgeman, I don't know if you want to fight this. When he goes Mega Nard, you're going to be in trouble. He's going to jump back in.
Not a favorable
He's going to jump back in. Idocles is going to jump back in. I know it. Oh.
Back in. Is he going to get out?
He is.
He is going to get out.
Mini.
Cassin's there for the cleanup, possibly.
Yep.
Jump in, Cass. Go ham. Oh, boy.
With one.
Not going to turn out very well.
This is now... Look, and Nars come back because he got the fruit in the river. He gets the assist on that one. While Lee Sin may be caught out down here, he's going to try and heal, go back to base, and he is successfully homegrown. And now this tier 2 tower is going to absolutely be wrecked.
Yeah, it looks like DNA, man. They have these rotations down. They're definitely getting at it, trying to catch people out in rotations.
They did an excellent job catching people out there. As this Nasus has fallen 72 CS, 165. We are looking almost at a Flame Horizon here. That's pretty impressive at pre-20 minutes.
That definitely is. And for him to only go back on so much gold every time it just hurts. He's sitting on 2,800 gold right now. He is sitting on just shy of 1,000 gold less than what Nasus has total. Well,
Lee Sin came in there, with a gank and flashed the Rakan knock-up, kicked the Ashe back into the teammates, and Ashe now flashing in under towers. Rakan looks like he's going to be able to live through that one. Echo and Amumu have finally shown up, and they're trying to get in onto Ashe, whose arrow is down. Lulu ult is down as well. We'll see if they're going to be able to finish this off. Echo with the jump in. Lulu shields and speed up just enough to get this Ashe away. That being said, Gnar is now going to start wrecking havoc on an inhibitor tower, and that's going to change this entire game.
Yeah, I will talk about this. As much as that Lee has been inside of Amumu's jungle and counter jungling and everything else that he's been doing, Amumu has done a fantastic job of being ahead in CS and still being a factor in the game.
Looks like they really want to get in onto this Ashe as they sent their bot lane. Up top is the Proto Belt, just the jump in from Echo is going to finish this off as Gnar is going to go down to, Nasus up in top lane. Cassin is down here fighting with the help of Lulu. Lee Sin's back for more while, Cassidy is now 5-0-1. Rakan is here to maybe protect the tower, but I don't know how much protection Rakans can do without Xayah there by his side.
It is coming down, trying to make it there. That is one scary Cassidy right about now. Xayah has arrived, and she actually did go Hurricanes first instead of Essence Reaver, which is a little puzzling.
I think she just needed the attack speed to just try and clear the wave as fast as Ashe was clearing it for her. Well, Vintage Edgeman, you got caught out so far away from base, and Gnar teleported in with the Black Cleaver and the Frozen Mallet, and you're dead. What do you know? Nasus dies at the same time a dragon goes down. That's the second time that's happened in a row.
And there is a second Infernal Drake that is up, but it looks like they're going to dive right here.
Oh, they are. That's a nice Ashe arrow in onto the Xayah. She is going to be able to ult, but does not pull the arrows back. as Echo throws out a Q. Rakan's charm was not enough, as knock-up not going to happen, as Kassadin's able to dodge that with the break. There's Kassadin barely living through all of this. Just too strong right now, as directed camera likes going back to Idocles on this Gnar, who's just absolutely been pushing through on this tower. Lee Sin's now stealing the red buff on his side, or sorry, Amumu's red buff. Echo's stuck down here. At some point, you're just going to have to kind of give up this outer tier 1, don't you think? Considering they have a Gnar literally knocking on their Nexus or inhibitor tower's, door.
Yeah, they have to. Echo just needs to try and stay mid, farm what he can, and try and make them roams up top, because he's the one that can deal with Gnar. Since Gnar is building a lot of armor right now, the only way to counter that is bring some AP into the fight.
Well, Amumu may get caught out here as he goes back in onto Kassadin and flashes over, but Kassadin's got more jumps than you, buddy. And with one more jump in, that is a dead mummy. It's starting to look like the solo laners here on the side of DNA are just outplaying their counter opponents.
Zaya is going to pick up the red buff. Hopefully that can help him kite down some people. We have great vision coming out here from DNA too.
Yeah, the red side of the map is pretty well focused down, and the vision has been given there as Rakan's going to go in, but that's an Ash Arrow, and you can't escape Ash Arrow and Kassadin, especially if you get hit by it. So the pick potential right now on the side of DNA is way too strong with the Ash Arrow and the Kassadin and Lee Sin, whereas Gnar is just too busy trying to just take as many towers as he possibly can up in top lane. Great ult, push 2 people in the wall, also flashes afterwards to help his escape, as we got 3 people in mid here trying to get in on this Echo and the tier 2 in mid, while Zaya's down in bot lane. Not sure if she's going to be able to get this. Probably will. Yep, that's going to be good. So they finally get 1 tower on the side of red team, but I do not think it's close enough for it to matter.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that mattered. They really needed to send Zaya mid to help out the Echo. That 1v3 was just really killer.
And now Vantage Edge Man, who has built pure armor, is now getting absolutely blasted away by a Kassadin. He doesn't have any magic resist. She does a lot of damage.
Well, Mumu's going to get the bandage toss. They're going to go ahead and take down the Kassadin there. Kassadin decided to stay around too long.
There you go. Mumu, with the help of Rakan and Nasus, do take down that Kassadin. So that shutdown gold's going to go on the Mumu, who has basically been the one holding up his team for the most part, in trying to get some counter ganks. As we see Lee Sin with a ward hop here, trying to get in behind on the bot lane, as Rakan maybe take the blast cone. Nope. Zaya's just going to keep on running up towards top. Nasus is up there, so they have a friend, and Amumu's coming up as well, but I'm not sure that's where they want to be running.
No, I don't even think Nasus realizes it. Nasus is still up there farming.
He is, sitting at 117 CS. He's trying to do his best to catch in, and we have an Echo now trying to solo fight Gnar in bot lane, and that's not going to be very good. Vantage Edgeman just gets kicked right into the wall by Lee Sin. Not, I think, good communication there between the two of them. He should have known that Rakan and Zaya got chased up to top lane, and here comes with the Amumu, and they're going to try and go in for the gank. 1 charm on Rakan. There's 2. They're going to finish off the Lulu, but now Zaya, who's burnt the ult's not going to be able to, pop this to get away from Kassadin, and that is too much burst damage with the Lich Brain procs, and Lee Sin trying to, just hammering it home with the Ash, pelting arrows across their faces. That is 4 kills for 1.
Yeah, that Nether Blade with Lichbane proc is definitely a dirty tool once Kassadin gets going. There is a big reason why there used to be an AD Kassadin build a long while ago.
And Gnar has taken down yet another tower for his team. And the minions have taken the tier 2 in mid lane. So just getting pushed too far up on the side of the Pentatilters right now, and they need to just try and, you know, bring it back in and stop bleeding all these kills to their opponents, and maybe just try and collect what CS comes to you instead of going out and chasing it.
All they need is one team fight. They get one team fight this late in the game. They have plenty of towers. They have that mid tower that has nothing left on it. They can push in that T2 tower. They can pick up more farm, try and close this gold gap that's now sitting at 11,000.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, the gold, if we just quick touch on it, it's basically just on Gnar and the Kassadin here. The like less than 1,000 gold on the AD carry is negligible. You know, the jungler's only at 1,000 gold up. As Canthor's gonna get absolutely destroyed by the fed solo laners of DNA.
Yeah, I'd like to see DNA here just try and group up, get some vision, maybe even force a Baron now that Amumu's dead.
Ash Arrow's going to hit the Xayah as she was polymorphed, so there was no getting out of that one. And with the Xayah dead and the Mumu dead, it's pretty much a free dragon here, and we're only at 27 minutes.
Yeah, Gnar having some fancy footwork here, trying to kite back on against the Echo.
Hey, he's going to be able to kick the Echo before Echo can ult out, in the charm from Rakan basically prevents him from going down and getting stunned, but now he's trying to maybe get off a heal. Nope, that's not going to happen. Lee Sin jumps the knockup yet again, and Rakan jumps out. Amumu comes in to save his support, but that's not good enough as flashing in is the Gnar, trying to land one more Q, and one more auto, finish it off, but there's a Lulu ult with the help of Asher, going to take them down. Now here's Xayah, she's going to be finished off. Baby Gnar, too strong, and with that, I think they're going to be able to push in for the win. Nasus did get a top tower, but I don't think that's enough. Obviously, I mean, they're taking...
Yeah, Gnar
the
needs
wrong
to back
trades
here so he can get some health and TP onto a minion under the tower.
Idocles was able to, you know, just run through that tower damage to take it up. Interesting, he's gone full split push build with his next item looking to be Sunfire Cape. I mean, he is so far ahead at this point, he can build kind of whatever he wants, but it's interesting that he goes for that instead of, I mean, even more aggressive item like a GA or a, you know, an MR item at all, because Echo has finished off the Lichbane now.
Yeah, going some kind of MR item right now would be a good thing, because Echo and Amumu are doing some decent damage. Those are pretty much his only threats right now. He can tank the Nasus in 1v1 pretty easily. He can tank the Xayah.
Yeah, Kassadin pretty much almost one combo the Echo. Took Echo down to about less than a quarter health, and had to you know, pop his ult just to get all that health back, so he didn't die to the second combo and Ignite.
So we do have a little bit of a development here. Nasus is sitting on 381 stacks, which does get pretty dangerous, although he is getting caught out here, which is not good.
Yeah, you're watching the fight down in bot lane. I'm watching it in mid lane as Kassadin and Lulu just shredded through three members, Amumu, Xayah, and Rakan. Absolutely destroyed them in mid lane. You know, he was 13-1-1. Super strong, as Echo looks like is pretty much given up as they go into the surrender for the end of game one. So I'm going to say a really dominant performance by the solo laners on the side of DNA. Just allowed whatever pressure jungle, you know, Lee Sin to just go and place as many wards as he wanted in Amumu's jungle, and Ashe and Lulu just to sit in bot lane and farm.
Wow, what a game. That was a pretty dominating factor for DNA there.
It never did get to that point where the Nasus split pushing can you know, get snowballing, get to the point where he can get off to a side lane and start doing some damage, because he just, that range on the Gnar, I mean, we got a almost 150 CS lead here at the end of the game. So, I mean, we can, before they jump into game 2, we can kind of start look at the stats, but I think we know exactly what they're going to see. While Amumu did get off some damage and was able to be somewhat productive coming out of the jungle, even with all of his jungle being warded by the Lee Sin, that Gnar and Cassidy damage just way too much than anything that they could tank through.
Yeah, I mean, Lee was invading, putting wards down, taking his farm. Like I said, you know, for a while there, Amumu was actually beating Lee in farm, which was very good for the Amumu and what he did. And yeah, he tried to make things work, but I definitely would like to see them try and make that top side work a little bit better. I think they had plenty of opportunities to definitely get in on that Gnar, especially when he was just holding on to so much gold and not buying items. That makes it just easier to shut him down.
Yep. So, I mean, what do you look at it? Is this just they just rough game, got outskilled? The Gnar into the Nasus matchup is just extremely punishing. And the Cassin was able to pick up some early skirmish kills, and as a result, Cassin just snowballed out of control as well. So there was just 2 threats that they couldn't deal with.
Yeah, pretty much. They really didn't have anything to deal with the Gnar. The Gnar, anything ranged into a Nasus matchup, basically has to get punished and camped. Otherwise, the Nasus is just not going to be effective, and it's going to take way too long for him to come online. You know, every time Nasus comes out, pretty much a lot of people just want to pick Vayne, and Vayne just punishes the heck out of Nasus pick. And if you don't camp it, then Vayne's just going to get huge. You know, same thing applies here with the Gnar. He has the same 3-stack passive. You know, it doesn't feel true damage, but, you know, going with Frozen Mallet first, Nasus just isn't going to get away.
So, we're going to probably take a few-minute break here while we wait for the next game to get started, and we'll see you guys back in a few minutes.
Drop chips, throw shivs, make your team go. That's the path you will run through, so face check, watch this, Bush will make ya. Every game it's all the same, just cause I set my chips up, set my chips up, set my chips up to bring you down. Set my chips up, set my chips up, set my chips up to bring you down. I think you should know that if you choose to run away, there won't be any getting out of my back. Stab. DED is just another word for which the spelling I lack. Why can't you understand that my receive is just a low CD flash? Press tab. DED is just another word for which the spelling I lack. LSD doubles me, makes you wanna rage quit. All the champions on your team just rage quit. Slow down, got fear, you're still screaming rage quit. 6v5 if I'm alive, just rage quit. Cause I set my chips up, set my chips up, set my chips up to bring you down. Set my chips up, set my chips up, set my chips up to bring you down. I think you should know that if you choose to run away, there won't be any getting out of my back. Stab. DED is just another word for which the spelling I lack. Why can't you understand that my receive is just a low CD flash? Press tab. DED is just another word for which the spelling I lack. Pushing button, pushing top, I hope that you know I've got my shift clenched tight and I'm ready to throw. think you should know that if you choose to run away, there won't be any getting out of my back. Stab. DED is just another word for which the spelling I lack.
Fiddle went down to Summoner's Rift, he was looking for a soul to drain. But he was in a bind, cause he was way behind, he had no time to gank the lanes. So he powered through the jungle camps, as fast as a scarecrow can. When his team started to rage out, so he said, I've got a plan. I know I'm slightly behind, but it's no big deal, you see. I'm spec to carry endgame, as long as you don't feed. And they said, you know, Fiddle, it's pretty clear that you're a noob. Our mid is 2k elo, and he said he jungles better than you. So Fiddle said, how can that be? He doesn't even have a skin. I'll prove him wrong by the end of this song, cause I'm the best it's ever been. Fiddle, stand behind the wall, prepare to press your R. Hell's breaking loose in mid lane, TF just pulled gold card. The carries don't know where to run, time to unleash the crows. But if you miss your ult, they're gonna troll. Fiddle stood in triumph on a pile of corpses high. His victory was one that surely no one could deny. But his team still didn't seem impressed, they said that was all luck. You only hit that ultimate because TF had set it up. Now Fiddlesticks was feeling down, but he had another plan. He'd ace the other team alone, so they'd know he was the man. His team said, okay Fiddle, you can go ahead and try, but the only thing you're going to do is ulti in and die. And Fiddle said, just keep farming and wait for the resign, cause I'm here to show you once again that I'm the greatest of all time. Fiddle hopped the Baron wall, his crows would make him pay. He feared the 80 carry, he couldn't flash away. The Baron died, he had to 5 pentakill and it was done. Now everyone knew he was number one.
whispers into the night. Rumors of shadows fill all will fright. Thundering hooves, earth shattering, a vision of war tearing limb from limb. From the abyss, enigma of death. Who is this beast that rose from the west? Demacia's finest, stricken with fear, he'll ride you down until your last breath. Hey, Karim, the shadow of war, the horror grows nearer, the essence of fear. No use to run, lay down in defeat, say your last prayer, this is your last heartbeat. Whisper my name again and again. I feast on the violence of men. I rise in the wake of destruction. The blood that is spilled is giving me strength. This is the song of all dying souls. Hey, Karim, the shadow of war, the horror grows nearer, the essence of fear.
You are the sweetest thing I ever knew. I had the kill shot, but I couldn't go through. And your face, my heart set ablaze. You're in the league, but girl, you're out of my league. Hi, my name is Victor. Would that be so hard to say? What is this that beats deep in my chest? Aurelia, piercing me through and Aurelia, why can't I be with you? More a machine than man, how can this be? You, a perfect being on a killing spree. Aurelia, can't make myself to fight. Aurelia, piercing me through and through. Aurelia, I'm stuck with the wrong crew.
We're going to welcome everyone back. We're going to be jumping into Game 2 here. Here in literally seconds, where everyone's getting the final ready buttons. We are having a sub for Game 2. Idocles, the top laner on the Gnar, is out. He had to leave, and if I'm not mistaken, he may. And the Prophet, who is also on the team, who's being subbed for in Game 1, is back, and he's now going to be replacing Idocles up top. I think Kami Zoro is the sub for this team for this match, who played the Lee Sin in the first match. So that being said, we are going to have DNA on the blue side in this match, and the Pentatilters on the red side, and I see we have once again the Tryndamere Teemo bands looking at Advantage Edgeman, and Bowtie did not want to deal with that Cassidy again from Arsenic.
Yeah, I don't blame him not wanting to deal with that Cassidy ever again. That was a pretty nasty Cassidy to deal with.
It was. Now, Ziggy, like I was telling the audience, we do have the sub now, or the Prophet coming back. He's normally on the team, but but Idocles had to leave, so we're not going to see that Gnar play again. Is that going to change anything on either team's drafting ideology?
It could change it very well. I'm not entirely sure what Prophet plays top. I do know that he is a mid main. He was on Team Atlas last season. Then they did win in the Stellar Division. So I'm not sure what they're gonna look at doing for him up there. But anyways, let's hope that that's a better matchup this time around.
Mm-hmm. We will definitely be seeing what comes out of that, as the Caitlyn is the final ban, because I guess McLovin does not want to be picking that up in with the first pick, and the final pick ban is the Lee Sin on against Kami Zoro. So it does look like the Pentatilters have gone with the ban what just killed us method.
Yeah, that definitely is a good ban strategy. Ban what you don't want to play against. we are going to see the Renekton possibly come out in the top lane, which is a very solid pick right about now.
And it's one of those aggressive early champions here to get up and fight Vantage Judgment in the top lane, and we'll see if the Prophet can show as much prowess on lane pulling as Idocles showed in Game 1. But in return, it's the Misfortune coming out on the side of Bonesaw. Like I said in Game 1, this division loves Misfortune. So, insta Zac pick coming out on the side of Kamizoro.
Wow.
I'm surprised. Did Zac get banned in Game 1?
Zac did not get banned in Game 1.
Just like in the match last night, Zac completely left open and not even touched in Game 1. And then in Game 2, gets insta-locked in by a jungler.
So assuming this is going to be a top Jax,
I think so,
going
yes.
to have a very hard time. Jax is not known for his early game whatsoever. Renekton is quite the opposite.
Yeah, I think Vantage Judgment likes to play a lot of scaling, split-pushing champs, and that's his play style, and that's what he's going for. And I think maybe he feels he'll survive better on the Jax instead of the brotherly battle of top lane. But we see the mid lane picks here going against each other with the Echo and the Orianna. So Arsenic's going to be taking the Echo around this time and seeing how well he can do on it, while Bowtie here is going to battle down with Orianna.
I recommend skipping.
Yeah, the Orianna Echo matchup is also another one that is usually played regularly for a lot of higher elo people. It usually goes in the favor of Echo after about 2 items. Echo is going to be able to counter the same push that Orianna has, as well as Echo will have a better time roaming.
You're duller than a broken sandwich.
And that's a Tom Kench ban. Maybe they're looking to get an Ashe pick. Maybe they're the ones that want to go for the Ashe. I know. We'll see.
They could very well do that, since Tom Kench does negate that Ashe Arrow pick play. Ashe Arrow would definitely set up the Zac really nice to get that E in.
Let me get in there.
There's another Tristana ban. So maybe McLovin has a slightly interesting champion pool with Tristana being banned. I haven't seen a lot of Tristana recently, so maybe that's something that he feels he's really comfortable, and that's a kind of a pocket ban here, as a lot of bans coming out in this division are usually that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's just a lot of odd one-trick bans that are coming through. That's usually what's played. There's not really much meta going on. It's just whatever you feel comfortable on, whatever you've played a lot, whatever you can basically just try and carry with is what goes on down here.
And they banned 2 supports of Tom Kench and Blitzcrank. And there's an Urgot pick. I'm going to guess that's a proxy pick. That's usually known for one of the more proxy picks out there. So I will look and see what that is here. Urgot's going to equal Sona. Thank you, Philip, in the Slack. So that is a Sona support. Interesting that they're waiting so long to pick their jungler. Also, not sure why they needed to... I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I guess the jungler was already taken, so if they really wanted to lock down Sona, they didn't want to go for the Rakan again after being dismantled by the Lulu Ashe. While McLovin's going to go for Jhin, and they're going to be the ones picking up the Rakan. Misfortune Sona's got can have a lot of poke level 1. And if Derp Naster goes as aggressive as Thad the Destroyer did in Game 1, he's going to die.
Yeah. Let's see what...
Do you think that's probably a Xin Zhao?
Is that a Xin jungle?
Yes, because that's what they were looking for. They still needed to lock their jungler in, so...
Well, a lot of interesting picks coming out here.
Yeah, Zin is a kind of a snowbally. Well, it is a snowbally jungler, right? So you have to get going before you get in there. But he is one of those all-in junglers, and soon as you get in on the lane gank, if the enemy does not have an easy escape, like if Renekton's burnt his Slice and Dice or Echo's used his E to deal damage, Jhin doesn't have a really good escape unless he lands a crit and he gets some movement speed, which is not going to be enough early on. He can duel Zac probably pretty well until Zac jumps away. So it's probably a relatively safe pick, but a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more damage-oriented than the Amumu that came out in Game 1.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I definitely like DNA's team comp a little bit better. They are a little bit more early game focused. I don't think Jax is going to have a very fun time in top lane. Mid lane, I think I would take the Echo based on previous performances in the last game. I think it's pretty much an even matchup between the Echo and Orianna. And I think the Zac will just scale a little bit better towards late game than Xin will, because Xin is more of an early game, and if you don't get going on him early, then that late game is horrendous. And if anything shows from what bot lane was last game, it's just going to be a farm fest, and everything's just going to happen on the top side of the map while bot just sits there and farms.
Well, we'll have to see how exactly this plays out. I think the Xin Zhao and the Zac will prove to be more aggressive than the Mumu versus the Lee Sin aspect to it. And with that entailing the aggressiveness, maybe the snowball can go in the favor this time of the Pentatilters in Game 2, and if they can get Jax ahead of Renekton early, it can go pretty bad. And once again, they do have a pretty decent, 4-man squad so Jax can split push if they can get to that point in the game.
Yeah, if they can get that way, then yes. The jungle roles are reversed from last game. You have Zac as more of the later game than the Lee Sin, and Xin is more earlier game than the Amumu is, so they kind of reverse their roles this time around. We'll see if they can use that to their advantage this time and get top going. Try and help the Jax as much as possible, because he's going to need a lot of resources to get going. And bot lane's just going to be a poke fest between MF and Sona, and see if Jhin can survive.
Now, we kind of in the last game talked top to bottom. We've sort of touched on the junglers and the top laners here. Mid lane, Orianna versus Echo. I think this is a fairly even matchup. Unless one of them, gets a kill or two on the other, and then it's going to start snowballing really hard out of control.
Yeah, once Orianna gets about 2.5, 3 items, then she starts going off. Echo's definitely going to want to be in a side lane, so I'd like to see the teleport there. Looks like Renekton's going to be running Ignite as well as Echo, which is going to be interesting, so Renekton's definitely going to be looking for that early game. As far as Echo not taking teleport, I'm not sure how that's going to work out too well. Not sure what Orianna has. Looks like Ghost.
I think so. That's one of the weird things of the Spectator. The red team always gets their summoners chopped off.
Yeah.
Well, let's just be happy that we have Spectator mode.
Client's working, right?
It's not the end of the world here. So, the bot lane. Do you just see it as a farm fest like Game 1, or do you think the poke damage early on from Misfortune and Sona can get through the Jhin record?
I think I see that lane as the MF Sona being on top. Definitely early, and probably more scaling into the later game as well. Jhin is not that great early on, and again, you're going into the Rockin' ranged again, where just have to kind of play passive and find your moments. Sona's just gonna be always stepping up towards the caster minions and trying to poke with Q, and MF's gonna be trying to hit those double up crits and just make that lane really hard.
Once we slowly get out of laning phase, though, unless in like last game one team is snowballed really far ahead, do you think that mid-game power of the Orianna Misfortune Wombo combo with the Sona ult is just going to absolutely wreck, the kind of sporadic double dive of Echo Zac, Jhin kind of wanting to sit behind a backline that doesn't exist of Rakan?
If the Orianna MF can get ahead, then you've got a decent delivery system between Jax and Xin. They're going to be wanting to dive in, so you have that ball delivery system somewhere, and the Wombo could come out pretty good. You have the Shockwave followed up by a Jax stun, depending on how many they get, could be very devastating. Then follow that up by a crescendo. On top of that, then you have bullet time, which is just ridiculous. There's a lot of Wombo that they have there.
As long as Xin Zhao doesn't knock everyone away.
There is that.
There's always the one champion in the Wombos that are always like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I'm interested to see some Zac play. He gets banned so much. He's one of my favorites to watch. Just play, just in general, because of his blobbiness. So that's gonna be exciting. We'll see how good the Prophet comes in. Cold running at top lane here in support change. So I think this is gonna be a good match. Hopefully a lot more entertaining for the Twitch chat than how Game 1 went. And we should be jumping in here in just a moment.
I will say this, they don't have to face that Gnar again, though.
They don't. Okay, so coming out on the side of DNA, we have the Prophet up top on Renekton, Kami Zoro in the jungle on Zac, Arsenic mid lane Echo, McLovin 1 on Jhin 80 carry, and Dirt Naster on Rakan support. For Pentatilters, we have Vantage Edgeman playing Jax in the top lane, Canthor doing Xin Zhao jungle, Bowtie, Tiladili, I still can't pronounce her name, dude, playing Orianna mid lane, Bonesaw 117 on AD carry Misfortune, and Thad the Destroyer support Sona. Invades coming out, maybe. We'll see. Neither team has really good hard CC level 1 other than maybe Rakan knockup.
Let's see, as far as I see skills coming out, I don't really see, Rakan and Zac haven't skilled anything yet. Oh, there goes Zac skill in the Unstable Matter. So they're not looking to invade, it looks like. They're just going to take up some defensive positions around red buffs.
What do you think about Renekton going extremely defensive with Cloth 4-pot?
I don't like it. I think definitely you want to go...
Oh, we're gonna see some fighting going on right away as we see double Thunderlords procced, and if one more, nope.
Is that a Thunderlords on Renekton? Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, that was a little lightning bolt.
Oh.
So we got Thunderlords Renekton. That's really greedy. As the Prophet goes back for the ward, Vantage Edgeman was not quite ready to pop the stun there, so they know that Canthor is going to be on the red buff, as Misfortune and Sona are going to be a little bit greedy, place a ward down in Tribush there, knowing that their bot lane is helping Zac on that red. So we got dual red starts for the junglers, and once again, we're Renekton's going to get an early start up top, but Misfortune and Sona are going to start pushing it down here in bot.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see how this top lane goes now. Got Thunderlords on Renekton, pot start, and it's just gonna shape up to be an interesting one.
It is, you know, the Prophet's gone for some, you know, some Q damage. Has already burnt through 2 pots, while Jax hasn't burnt through anything. That does allow him to get level 2 early, and now that he has level 2 Vantage Judgment, just going to have to play back off and just let the wave kind of get pushed into him. But he does have that Doran Shield to help him CS, and with the regen, he should be doing pretty well here, as we see Xin jump over as the junglers clash, looking at maybe getting a top early gank. Nope, they're just going to... Zin's going to go for the Skull Crab. Zach was maybe looking to counter. He just ran straight there from red to top as trading. Who got... the one time I want to actually watch the Scuttle fight, it takes me away from it. Does look like Zach was able to smite away the camp from Renekton, or not from Renekton, sorry, from Xin Zhao. So Xin places a deep ward at Wolves, goes about his way. As Echo's jumping in hard onto Orianna, she was able to just sort of, you know, walk her way back to lane as Canthor's just going to do a run by. Apparently the bottom half of the map here has been very volatile, as everyone in lane is at about half health except for Sona, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because she has as much health as a cannon minion. How is she not taking any poke damage?
Just looks like every time Sona steps up, Jin's not turning and firing a shot at her. Should always be trying to punish. Whenever they go in for a trade, you should always try and return something back.
Sona's going to run out of mana here. She has been spamming her spells back and forth as just, you know, keeps going back to the top lane train. It loves top lane early on in these matches, the directed camera, probably because it's the most possible volatile 1v1 lane. Also, Vantage Judgment did get below half health, and the camera likes to swap to someone as soon as they get to that point as well.
Yeah, and he's doing a decent job under tower farming here. You know, he's only a couple CS down. He has a decent minion wave that can get him back to where he needs to be. He just needs to be careful for the all-in from Renekton here shortly.
Renekton did not take Ignite, so did go with the teleport. As Renekton is going to go forward, Echo is going to jump in onto Orianna, but Xin Zhao is going to go down for the bot lane gank as well. First Blood's going to go to Misfortune with the double up. Got that bounce proc, was able to...
have the parallel conversions hit. Zach's able to hit. Can they get the Orianna? No, Orianna is able to get out.
What's your time?
5:09.
I am a full 10 seconds ahead of you. How am I 10 seconds ahead of you?
I have no idea.
Okay, hold on. Pause it. I'm paused at 5:31. Tell me when you get to 5:30.
Oh, I'm at 5:34 now.
Oh, jeez. How'd you go ahead of me?
No idea.
Okay. We'll just do 5:45. When you get there, hit pause it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm there. Are you there?
Right now.
Okay. Okay. So now that we had some technical problems taken care of, a ghost burnt by Orianna and Flash in mid lane, as Vantage Edgeman really needs to back up here and just teleport back to lane, as Xin Zhao is going to come in, but Renekton has hit 6, so this is a really risky dive here on their behalf, as he's just going to pop ult, and Vantage Judgment goes in, but one stun, he finishes off 1 kill on Xin Zhao, slice and dices through Jax, and that's not good.
Both. Well, I guess the Thunderlord's Renekton is the new meta now.
That cloth armor I guess was helping out. I mean, it did help out on the gank, but he didn't get to the point where he was low enough for it to particularly matter, as we do see some another items picked up, as he is going to do the Tiamat and a longsword here, so going to be aggressive, as one gank for Xin Zhao successful, the other gank not so much. Orianna has been now summonerless in mid lane, just trying to get in on some CS, as Zach had made a trip to mid lane to clean up. So out of this early game is coming out, other than the top lane here going in the favor of the Renekton, which you'd kind of expect considering, you know, being such a lane bully. The other lanes are going pretty well.
Yeah, Jin's actually built a little bit of a lead here on CS, almost about a 10 CS lead here. Echo's definitely got a little bit on Orianna, and it looks like they're going to have a 3-man dive up top here.
Yep, they're spending 3 people here. They do not want... There's the Orianna ult. They just want to make sure that that Renekton is dead. And with a dead Renekton and no teleport, he's going to be sitting back at base. Jax is going to be able to back or push out depending on who wants to do. They did result, though, allow Echo to get some... Go to Echo. There we are. Get some farm in mid lane, but didn't actually get that much damage done onto tower, as we see Zach down in bot looking to maybe do a lane gank here on the Misfortune and Sona, who are playing it properly, right? You send 3 members of your team top, play it safe, play it way back in the lane.
Yep. Anytime you're trying to send resources to the other side of the map, you shouldn't try and open yourself to something counter on the other side.
So it was Zach went in anyway, and it wasn't enough, as Vantage Edgeman is going to try and get the stun in onto Echo, and is with 1 auto attack trades, not able to get the kill because he was able to Chrono Break back to dodge the next tower shot, but Jax got a little bit greedy trying to get some CS and experience. Echo, though, wastes his time in top lane other than just delaying Jax's back.
Yeah, I think trying to delay the back there is a little bit better. It was a fantastic flash by Jax to just time that on the phase dive to get him under that tower.
And Jin is going to open up with the ult, look to try and lay down some damage in onto Sona, as I now have lots of music playing behind me. What was that? Did you hear that?
That was Jin, man. Having the curtain call come out.
Seriously? That I don't play bot lane. I didn't know that he did that. I'm not looking at that ever again.
Yep, that's Jin's ult for you.
That was pretty freaky. Misfortune's going to go for the ult down here. Rakan's going to be able to dodge it by going into the wall and jumping away to his AD carry. As we see the junglers clash at blue buff, Zach is able to get in there with the jump, but does not have a place to go. Flashes out right as he flashes. Does go into blob form, though, as Echo is supporting his jungler by throwing the convergence there. Now he's going to jump in onto Orianna, misses the Q. So we get some trade damage here. Rakan's going up the river and maybe stuck between a rock and a hard place. The Sona's going to go in there. There's another double up shot from Bonesaw. Down goes Derpnaster.
Well, things are starting to be a little bit, little less passive than last game at this early point in the game.
And with that being said, the home back on the Chrono Break. Echo looking to get in onto Orianna, burns the Ignite, flash in from Sona, and there's the ult as well. And Zach gonna jump in and ult, and let's bounce. No one back to under tower. Jin's gonna maybe try and get in here and crit the dragon away, but Xin Zhao secures that with a nice auto attack because his smite was down.
Wow, I think Jin could have easily walked in there and stole that.
Flash in from Xin Zhao. Is he going to get the knockup? He is. And Misfortune with one more. Not necessarily needed auto because Xin Zhao's red smite damage was enough. Jax going to flash in onto Renekton, who's going to flash away. So Jax cannot jump back. As a result, Renekton's probably going to dash in, slice dice here, and stun. Thunderlord's proc, and you're dead.
Wow. That is one. Xin, go ahead and try and dash in on the Rakan, and Rakan just dashes out. That is one problem that a lot of people in League have. They get too greedy and hold on to their flash. Jin could have easily escaped that and gotten out with his life if he'd have just flashed earlier.
Pop it early enough. Well, Prophet is doing almost as good a job as Idocles in this top lane. he did die earlier. He is not as far up in farm, and he's not able yet to take the first tower, but he's still got some time. He's still got, I know Idacles did, a stellar job of really pushing that out and keeping that up tempo in top lane here. As we see, the top laners are going to trade teleports to go back to lane, and Zach is going to find Orianna in the jungle, who is looking to maybe support her top laner. That Thunderlord's proc is just too great right now on the side of Renekton, and they're going to be trading ults and autos, and we'll see if Jax can get away. Looks
Zach
like he
is
able to. The level 2 boots really helping him right now. Echo's coming up, and they know he's there. Xin Zhao may be looking to help as well if they try and dive in onto tower. Here they come. There's a parallel convergence. That's not going to matter as Xin Zhao's going to knock him away. But there's one more tower shot. Zach's going to go down. We'll see if Echo's going to tank more shots than necessary. It is enough to pick up 2 kills and the first tower on the side of DNA.
Yeah, they really needed Ori to rotate up too with that Echo. They delayed a lot from that top lane by setting up and sending that 3-man gank up top to kill Renekton. That's what delayed a lot of that.
And Sona does finally start taking a lot of poke damage from this Jhin with the W and the Q. As Renekton's getting really greedy here, slice and dicing. Behind the level 2 tower is going to get stunned and is going to try and fight them off. Prophet too greedy here. You just got the tower. You should have just pushed it in and backed, but nope, he wants more. Zach may be looking to do another bot lane gank here. The last one was pretty unsuccessful, but now Sona and Misfortune are starting to push up. We'll see if Jhin maybe can land some CC here to really support them. But he is seen by a ward in Tribush, so excellent ward position by the Sona to allow safe passage in lane.
Yeah, they have some really good wards from DNA down on the bot side of this map. Definitely able to get that deep ward down there on the tri ward, as well as having 2 pinks, which are now getting taken out by the Pentatilters.
Now, well, all this time they know Zach is down here, so they're sending Xin Zhao to the top half of the map to get in some jungle invade and some jungle farm, as they lost their pink wards in the river and in Dragon, but losing some pink wards to make sure you stay alive is an excellent position. As Xin Zhao does some counter jungling, we have a Jax trying to solo Rift Herald. Cannot do that. He does not have any damage items yet. He does have blue buff.
And he does have a Renekton that is out hunting for him right now.
There is. We'll see what he can do. He's going to go for the stun. And there's not the stun. He did not get it off. The slice and dice is going to come out ult with the Renekton. And see the area effect damage coming out. And Xin Zhao is able to finish that one off. But going 1 for 1 in a 2v1 helps, feels good on Renekton, but you're slowly allowing, Jax to still pick up some gold and stay in this game. You're allowing, Xin Zhao to keep up. While that time was spent up there, Zach was able to do some counter jungling, and let's see if he goes for a behind the lane gank. That could be absolutely devastating down here in the spot lane.
He is warming up for it. I think he should have just went on it, because he does have Let's Bounce, so he could flash Let's Bounce.
We'll see.
Pull him into the
we're targeting on him. Let's Bounce gets no one.
Doesn't even get the MF with it.
Good attempt on his side, just not in the right position. With that gank, though, that shows that Xin Zhao has time to continuously push up here into this lane. Echo is coming. We'll see if he can get out and make an escape here. He's going to probably suicide for the tower. There he goes. He was able... Ooh! Nice interaction with the jump back. There's one slow. He gets ignited. He's going to try and jump around, dance. There's the stun. So much damage. Yeah, but I don't know if Jax and Ori can fight them here. This is too much damage. Renekton gets pulled in by Orianna. That's not enough. Renekton is just going to absolutely try and solo out the AP carry. The ball is not enough. Jax, though, is going to finish off Echo instead. Ori safely gets back to her minions as Renekton runs into the jungle here. Zach, what are you doing? You're just farming towers in mid lane. Bot lane, you're CSing. Good job, 80 carries. That's what you do.
80 carries and doing 80 carry things.
Jax, though, is going to try and push, you know, Kamizoro off of the mid lane farm. With just the Tiamat, he's doing a lot, pretty much a lot of damage for being how far behind he is.
Yeah, I mean, even though he is behind in farm, he does have the kills to back him up. You know, they don't count for everything, but they do help when you're behind in farm.
And he's
and
not.
He is ahead of Zach.
Yeah, it's not like last game where the Gnosis was about 3 to 4 levels down the enemy laners at some point. As Misfortune's going to collect a nice wave here. In here, she's almost out of mana, and it looks like they might finally go for this Rift Herald, and this is super dangerous because they're sending 3 people into the base right now. Xin Zhao does not have ult. They have to try and kill Vernek. That's not going to matter because Zac comes in. He's a giant green blob, bouncy blob. That's going to finish up. Echoes here as well. They should easily peasy take the Rift Herald. Orianna maybe go for the Shockwave. Oh, she did! She stole it!
Does get it, and the Shockwave comes out. Whew. That's where you say, GG, thanks for the leash.
It's too bad she can't go back and actually pick up the Rift Herald, but it's better than the enemy team getting it right now. She salvaged something that was kind of crazy on her teammate's side, but she nearly got finished off. And now with Let's Bounce, though, she didn't go back to lane. Echo and Zach were clearing wards. She tried to poke them off some wards. You didn't have any support, so sometimes not the best decision being made by all the members here on the teams, but definitely some aggressive decisions.
Yeah, should have just went back to mid lane, started pushing it in. Not even worry about it. You did the right thing. You took Rift Herald away from them. You stopped whatever push they were going to get from it. Ended up giving over a kill for being greedy, wanting the Rift Herald.
Xin Zhao now is going to jump over, and the slice and dice is not going to take Renekton. He's not going to. He did not have flash up. So Xin Zhao and Jax double teaming the Renekton again, and if he keeps getting put down like this, we may see Jax come back in. In fact, and Sona's going to go in, and she's going to get absolutely exploded. She stepped way too far forward. I'm not exactly sure what she was looking for. Jin's playing music again. Creepy dude.
Hits 3 of 4 shots. You know, you got Zach down there. Zin's coming down. Zach should be out there helping them push that in right now. They want to try and get down these towers.
I think they want the kills here. This is the difference between different divisions. It's Zach's going to go in for the dive on Misfortune. Bonesaw, you know, burns the heal, but other than that, just lets it happen. She's going to fall under tower. Xin Zhao maybe do a wraparound gank here, but I don't think that's good because you have no one on the bottom half of the map to help you. He just is booking it towards Orianna to see if he can get any help from her. Oh, jeez.
Orianna's Shockwave comes out.
Oh,
misses.
well...
They do pick up the kill, though, but they could get the return kills right here.
Yep, they will, and there's Jin picking up a kill. Rakan picked up one as well. Jax is now stealing away the blue buff, but they are lost mid lane pressure, mid lane priority, and with that going down, they should be able to take the mid outer, the dragon, and possibly the tier 2 and top.
Yeah, they're going to send Jin here to take the mid outer while they start dragon. Only Sona's down there to try and stop him. We do have Jax going in on Renekton up here. MF is on the way up.
Jax is teleporting.
Pulls out the teleport, gets him to flash away.
Okay, teleport for flash. Success. I think he was trying to flash. He literally teleported right next to him. Oh, sometimes if it works, it works. Oh, look, teleport. Oh, shit, someone's teleporting in. Oh, wait, the only person that's teleporting on their team is Jax. I'm trying to kill.
She's been bamboozled.
So we see the buffs going off. Mountain Dragons for both teams here. This game is a lot closer. We're at 20 minutes. We're still within 4K gold. We have had at least one tower trade as Oriana's now going to come down here for a gank as the top laners duel. But let's go back to some mid lane, bot lane action. Shockwave wins. Great. Does Mr. Crescendo. Misfortune ult. Okay, let's bounce. Brings him back in under tower. Flash out on the side. And I think they should have enough damage to take down Sona because she, once again, is a minion.
And on top of that, gets the parallel convergence to land on the map.
And with that, there's no more champions left. Echo's going to be tower diving, so Jin can get the 4th shot. And Chrono break out of there, so no more tower damage. As Xin Zhao is looking to maybe try and get on Renekton up in top lane. But that didn't happen. Does look like the DNA here is starting to push their advantages that they have. Jin now has got 3-1-3, up 20 CS on this Misfortune, who's gone for the dual, BF sword builds. As we can see, Vantage Edgeman and a Prophet dancing around this this wall here because they're directed cam. Xin Zhao going to go in, try and get in onto Jin. Does get the knockup, but not enough as he's going to be finished out. And there's the flash out from Jax this time as Renekton goes to go in under tower and see they can start trading this, but does not look like it as just back off as Rakan and Zac are now up here, possibly looking to dive in onto the Jax under tower as they really want to get this tier 2 down.
Gets out of there. That's the smart decision there.
Trying to ping for his teammates to say, hey, can we get a tower trade in return? And I think Misfortune and Sona may be able to trade the bottom tower. Oriana just push up the minion wave to mid and then finish maybe backing, running to bot lane. Oriana, get out of there. Shields herself. Zac lands a perfect jumps in. And with the... wow. Echo with a lot of burst damage there is able to finish off Oriana even through the shockwave.
We're seeing some curious builds come out here on the side of the Pentatilters too.
Ooh, sad with the Miss Sona ult there as Let's Bounce is going to pull Misfortune into Rakan, and the Jin ult is laid over top as we see the top laners now start duking it out, not near a tower, so we'll see if Vantage has the advantage, and it does look like he does, and they finish it off. One more auto attack, Slice and Dice. Does he have proc one more auto attack? The vision of the plants messing with each other. Xin Zhao's is going to be able to clean this up though with a couple autos to jump right in.
A lot going on here in the mid game.
There is, and this Xin Zhao knows nothing but to go forward, jumps in onto the AD carry, and with the help of Exhaust is not actually finished off as Sona is going to go drop as well. Oriana runs down to try and shield her teammates, but that's not going to happen. Jax just trying to collect some farm here as he gets back to the split push. Misfortune is going to come down here with the help of Oriana and try and clear out this mid wave and see what they can do 2v4.
So getting back to the builds here, we are seeing some interesting builds come out. Typically on the Renekton, you want to see the Titanic come out more than the Hydra, or more than Ravenous. Sorry. Here on Echo, we have a tier of the Goddess coming out, as well as Roa, which is quite interesting for Echo itself.
Zac's going to jump in onto Misfortune, land a knockup, which allows Rakan to land a knockup as well, and just the AoE damage on the side. Jack's going to come in, and it's 2 ult, Sona ult, but Echo recurrence for lots of damage, but we'll see. Echo's going to go down, or sorry, Rakan goes down as Echo jumps on out, and now Renekton trying to save Zac as he's in Bloblet form, and does as Zac's going to be able to get away, shield in onto Xin Zhao, finishes him up, and Blast Cone sends Zac away with jumping over the wall, as Echo's looking maybe for some cleanup damage in onto the Sona. Jin just laid the curtain call over the wall and didn't really do anything else that fight as they were all fighting on the other side of the tower.
Yeah, Jin had a great ult there. He just wasn't able to find a target to keep laying into. He tried to hit too many different targets at once. He had great ult hits on MF that was slowed that he could have killed, but decided to choose for the Jax instead.
Now it's time back to clear some waves and get some, some tower defense in. Zach's getting really tanky. He does have the Cinder Hulk item and the Randuin's Omen, and looks like he's gonna be going for second item, Stoneborn or the Stone Plate Gargoyle Galio item. As Zach's going to jump in, and with that extra armor and magic resist, she's going to be extremely tanky here, as the, flash has to come out from Sona. Since the, the slow coming out from Randuin's Omen, Sona would have been taken up in Let's Bounce and put back towards the enemy team, and that would have been disastrous. As the Xin Zhao goes in onto the Jin and does look like he's going to be able to get the kill with the help of Red. But Misfortune is going to come in with the ult and lay it down, and not enough. And there's the shield coming out from Echo. Triple kill.
Echo is just starting to make his presence known.
Renekton was able to take the tier 2 in bot, as well as we see Jax here trying to get his split on up and top, as Orianna has now been left to farm duty, as Renekton's going to slice and dice in. Missed shockwave coming out from bow ties there. Nice dodge there by the Prophet, and with no one on but Sona coming up for 2 seconds, I don't know if there's going to have enough minion waves here to get this inhibitor tower. Jax does do a return trade with the tier 2 in top wave. Not sure if that's worth it though, as the DNA did pick up the dragon. And now, Jax getting too greedy, as he's going to try and steal the blue buff. He's going to get jumped in on, as Sona and Xin Zhao are getting jumped in on, as they're trying to protect their own blue buff. There's the shields coming out, not enough, and Jax still jumping in here. Misfortune's probably going to go down here in the bot lane. Yep, triple kill to Echo. Echo is now 12-2-5. He's going completely off, and with only Orianna here, I think this tower is going to go down pretty quickly.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a dive here, since the Echo's so far ahead right now.
Yep, that happened.
Go ahead and put it on Reddit.
Yep.
/r, that happened.
And with this tower and inhibitor going down, Rakan's hanging around Baron. I don't know if he's just placing wards or if that's what he wants. Jin and Zach got that next wave taken care of, so there's no real red wave going to be pushing out from top. They do have a tier 2 in mid if they want us to go and secure that, but it looks like they have a real good handle on this game. Now Zin's gone the full offensive build. Do you think he should have gone a maybe defensive item, or since he was the one getting those kills, as we see Sona going in the Let's Bounce to death? It's probably just going to be a matter of time until DNA's going to be able to push in these middle and top waves, and with all three waves pushing, they should be able to take down some towers and an inhibitor. As Rakan's going to jump in, and with the help of Zach, we're just going to go full screen here, as Zach's going to take out the Jax. Wasn't able to get split push. Orianna misses the shockwave, as the ball did not stay where it was supposed to be. Misfortune's going to drop here, and she is able to pick up the Prophet. Renekton. Sona's actually back from health after such low death timers here, but this should be a dead tower.
I believe that'll do it.
That will. So this game ends in just under 31 minutes. On the side of DNA, relatively 2-0. I don't want to say crushing, but Definitely game one was really the solo laners making their impact felt really hard in the early game and snowballing that out of control. While this one, there was a lot of give and take back and forth from both teams, and just a couple of those mid-game skirmishes went in the side of DNA, and as a result, they were able to just keep on the pressure of the Renekton split push and finish out the game.
Yeah, they just played to their win condition perfectly. You know, they played through the top lane, they played through the mid lane. Echo started going, he got some kills, he got that triple kill going, then he just started going off from there.
So we just sort of kind of review the stats a little bit. This is week one, so both these squads have time to fix the mistakes that they had this evening, learn from what they did good, what they did bad, what they're consistent at doing, what are their tendencies, and improve not only as individuals, but definitely as a team. I know we may have had a sub or two tonight, but definitely something that we can look forward to. What would you like to see, coming out of these teams going on for the season here?
Ooh, I think they need to work a little bit more in communication. Trying to get what they want to do a little bit better. Jax had a way better game this game around on the Jax versus the Nasus, but unfortunately, it just wasn't able to keep going with it. They definitely held their own for a while there. It was just a couple of mistakes that they made in the macro mid game that ultimately just gave DNA the victory tonight.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes it is those little bit things of the communication and communicating on what you want to do, what your teammates want to do, and what your team composition wants to do going forward. And that is going forward into the next 5 minutes or going forward into the next game. And there was a definite improvement coming out tonight on the side of Pentatilters from game 1 to game 2 across the board, and that's definitely something that we're glad to see, and hopefully they can keep up that momentum that they did game tonight, even though it was 2 losses. At moving forward and getting to that next stage, and it's a long season. They definitely have a chance to make playoffs. It's definitely not out of reach since once again it's only week 1.
Yeah, it's only week 1. We've seen lots of teams in week 1 go 0-2 and still be able to come back and even reach the finals at the end of the season. They just fix a couple of things here and there, and you're on your way. Definitely the difference between game 1 and 2 was a big difference, and you saw it there where they were able to keep it relatively close for the first 20-25 minutes, and then that's where it just seemed to fall apart.
Mm-hmm. And with the conclusion of the night's match today, I know we have other stuff coming up. I think later this week, maybe some other casts of other games. We still have yet to see a Galactic Division casted or the Supernova Division. So we have those games coming up. I'm not exactly sure what times, but definitely check the Slack and especially hashtag streams and highlights, as that is where a lot of this stuff is posted. We'll be probably wrapping this stuff up into a VOD here a little bit later this evening. And thank you for supporting not only the teams tonight in the Twitch chat, but the casters as well. We're glad all of you made it out here this evening. I know it was kind of a crazy schedule, and things got flopped around a little bit. So thank you for participating and watching. And do you want to say anything before we do the final send off here? Because I'm sorry, my voice is getting pretty shot. So.
No, you're fine. Just thanks everyone for coming out. Like Ammo said over there, this is all fun stuff that we like to do. Obviously we don't get paid for any of this. We're not that good. Everyone seems to have fun. I'm sure these guys had fun. I'm sure everyone else is going to have fun for the rest of the year. Thanks for Vantage for putting this league on for us to be able to do that. and have all this fun. I guess we'll see you all next time we do this.
Thank you, everyone. That was the Helio Division Pentatilters versus Dino-Gnosis Acolytes. Yep. Still can't pronounce their name. That was Ziggy, the co-host caster tonight, and I'm the Amo. We'll be doing a final a send-off here, and we'll just keep playing stuff. So we'll catch you on the Rift later.
Hey.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
A walking daybreak persona that radiates. I rise in the east and set record assist rates. Don't need the gold feed that kills to my teammates, cause my bill's earning money for nothing like dire straits. I'm holding you in place, double C, not just my cup size, but also how I win my lane decisively. There's no rivalry, stunning you obsessively. Go ahead and try to get the best of me, cause I'm an unstoppable force with impossible scores. And I'll take everything you got with a smile like we're getting divorced. A true tank, I control the crowd. I get loud, scream, I battle cry and put you down, cause I'm a lady amongst boys. Hard into every fight, turn W's like I paid off Vanna White. Legit armor, breastplate and everything. Still a charmer, no cleavage, meta on the upswing. I wield the power of the sun, and I've just begun to run through your team and mow you down like a Tommy gun. It's hot in here, but I'll stay fully dressed, son. Friends call me Lee, cause I nail you when I press on. My kid's cheaper than public housing. Hope you brought sunscreen, SPF 1000. It's no joke, solar flares cause blistering. Quick swings, lock you down for life like a wedding ring. I ain't Solari, hunt you like Safari. Your old news, I think I used to play you on Atari. Spar me, Zenith blade hits while you run about. Stuck so deep, you'll need a future king to pull it out. My almost legendary plates made of solid gold. Eclipse any warrior I face with my crowd control. Ever vigilant, bright like a filament. Militant, warrior, defender of the innocent. I stay classy, no way to harass me, cause if you're in range, I'm about to get flashy. Crash in, send you back to base for the respawn.
Ain't no sunshine